Tell us who your favourite cricketers are. I mean, Aussie first, obviously.
Current, past, or present. What do you?
Past, present, everything.
Ponting was one I loved.
Yeah. What a dominating batsman.
You know,
really,
Steve Waugh. Yeah, I totally. Yeah, I mean, Steve Waugh was probably the first cricketer that I ever loved.
That you had a crush on.
Yeah, that I had a crush on. Yeah, so to meet him was cool. So, yeah, I was because I was a batter. I tried wicket keeping for a bit. So, but it was Steve Waugh and Ponting. Like it was grit. It was determination.
Not Gilly. Or Gilly's a bit later.
I mean, yeah. I think no one's ever hated Adam Gilchrist or not liked Adam Gilchrist. Yeah, he played at my club as well, so I have a connection to him.
Did you play with him?
I never played with him. No. But I mean, yeah, Gilly, is one of the best.
Well,
but yeah, Steve Waugh and Ponting for me.
Warnie for me. Yeah, Warnie was my hero.
You mentioned you bowled the odd leggy, so
I like as soon as he. So I was 7 years old when he bowled the ball of the century to Ganning, and actually, and the year before he debuted, where Shastri took him down at the SCG. That's right.
Shastri.
And I think that was the first Test match I ever went to as well. So, the ascension of his career coincided with cricket coming into my consciousness as well. And so he was just my hero. All I wanted to do was be like him. He was just he was a cosmic presence, over and above all of the legends. And he was so majestic and such a virtuoso.
Should have captained Australia.
Probably not. I think he had a bit going on, Warnie. But he was he was a beautiful cricket brain. But so we're also lucky too, because I think when like legends come into their careers, and if you follow that as an adult, you kind of get this. You understand that there's a person behind it, and they might have some fallibilities, and you see them through that lens. But as a kid, all you see is the player. You don't care that Warne might love the ladies, or he might get into a few problems down the track. You just see a beautiful player, and so you can experience it in this really like a solemn, earnest, undisturbed way.
Also, he had that presence where you knew something was going to happen.
Yeah.
I think both of them had that. Kapil Dev had that for us in the. There are guys when they come on, you just feel like the star has come.
Yes, absolutely.
This is it, and something special.
Yeah.
I think Ben Stokes says that as well. Particularly against Australia.
If he can stay on the field.
If he can stay on the field, yeah. It was like. Even more so when he's bowling, his bowling is nothing spectacular.
Yeah, he's a winner. He knows how to win.
He's a winner.
I love Mark Waugh with the bat as well. Like stylistically different. I just loved to watch him, and then Gilly as well. I mean, Gilly is just a
no bowlers, no fast bowlers from the land of Australia.
Well, I loved. Yeah, I mean. We were just completely blessed. That's why we're so arrogant as well. Because like our first experience, our first imprinting of cricket was the Australian cricket team dominating everybody. And then when we went to India, they didn't show that on TV, so we didn't really know what was going on.
But you did beat us.
On
our wickets with McGrath and company.
Yes.
So which nobody else has done. Really with the fast bowlers, more than the spinners.
That's right.
Gillespie, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
That series that Australia won.
2004. Is it?
Steve Waugh was injured.
Yeah. Those decks were like seaming decks. They sort of played into Australia's
Nagpur apparently was unbelievable. The Aussies all thought, what?
Couldn't believe it.
That's right. It was great.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
What's the Mitchell Johnson story before we run out? There's a lot of fighting in the Aussie press that we get to see here. Mitchell seems to be picking fights.
Johnson.
Was that with David Warne?
Well,
first was Warnie, then with a couple of others as well.
Yeah.
Or is he just calling a spade, and it's not more than that?
He had a real go at David Warner before Warner's last series. But I think a lot of people were kind of the view that Mitchell Johnson had just started writing a column in his local the local press.
Yeah.
And so he was trying to make a splash. I can't remember what he said about Warner.
He just wasn't happy that he was allowed to
play a farewell series.
Yeah, that's right.
If he's done, he's done.
Yeah, and then Warner made 1160.
He announced 1 year ago that he'd end with this series against Pakistan.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
But they were teammates for a brief while.
They were teammates.
Yeah. A lot of that's one thing we learn, and it wouldn't come as a surprise to any adult. People you're in a colleague relationship with don't always get on, but we've had that. Well, exactly. Obviously, can you tell? Yeah. And it's the same in the Aussie team and probably any team. It's like some guys, not everybody's friends, but they all play together. So
yeah, I think Steve Waugh mentioned that in his book, not to show off, but I read books about.
That's the thing to show off about now.
50
reading.
guys are traveling together; they can't all be friends. It's just
Well, Warnie and Steve Waugh. That was.
They didn't speak for a little while, except on the field.
Yeah,
where he would,
for-
tell him the feel, etc.
Yeah.
Clinical conversation, nothing more.
Basically, decades I didn't speak. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
Steve Waugh
And yet
dropped.
super successful.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
At that
there's
point.
two alphas. Right there.
Steve Waugh dropped Shane Warne for
I
a game
remember
in the West Indies
series,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
right.
yeah,
Yeah, and then
yeah.
he never forgave him. Basically.
Yeah.
Said
The
he's
other guy
most-
was fantastic as well, Stuart McGill.
Stuart McGill, yeah.
I mean, if he was born 5 years later.
Yeah, what a player.
Yeah,
He,
what a
he,
player.
he gave it a rip, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, not going so well now, Miguel, but...
Yeah, there's a couple of guys that are going
but
so
a couple
well.
of guys, yeah, but
a
yeah,
couple
hell
of
of
that
a...
generation sort of
Yeah.
hasn't really gone that well
Yeah.
for.
The Slater McGill stories are a little different.
Yeah.
Don't worry,
Yeah.
we Indians, we follow everything.
Yeah.
What about Indian cricketers? Who do you like? You like any of our boys?
Well, we
But that sounds
also...
wrong. I'm
It's all right.
Do you like any of our boys?
Yeah, that's right. Oh, we like our boy. Yeah. I mean, we grew up with Sachin. I know that's very cliche, but he was the only guy we felt that could dominate Australia when they were at their best.
Dravid?
Lara could as well.
Dravid,
I think like I
270?
know Dravid. Yeah, guys have played innings, but I think people would regard Dravid as underneath Sachin in Australia.
Yeah.
Oh no, I mean it's controversial. Yeah. It's funny how different countries like see players from overseas. Like for example, I don't think many people in Australia are aware of how deified MS Dhoni is. For example, in Australia, we're quite. We're quite ignorant in the sense that if something didn't happen in Australia, then it didn't happen. So MS Dhoni hasn't really dominated Australia
had a
in
big
Australia.
Australian run.
Yeah.
Fair.
So I think people would be very surprised to see where he sits in people's minds. We've learnt that since covering the Indian cricket tournament that's T20.
You're talking about that Chennai cricket team
Yeah,
where
the Chennai,
even
yeah,
though they're
down south,
losing,
speak
they
Tamil.
only wait to watch MS bat, and
Yes.
then that only happens in our country.
Yeah.
Where the cricketer's bigger than the game. It
Yeah.
only happen here.
But
Yeah.
It's not his fault.
Sachin
Yeah.
for me,
Oh.
Sachin for me. I mean, Harbhajan in the 01 series was some of the best spin bowling I've seen. I mean, a lot of love for
Been bowling in the
Virat.
spin with Andrew Simons off the field as well.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Yeah. I've heard some more spin about that since we got here as well. A lot of people seem to know what actually happened. So anyway,
Yeah.
When I was a kid and there was a great generation of batters that used to come to every country, but it came to Australia. I never went to the SCG wanting to see Sachin bat. I had no interest.
Yeah, right.
Which is to I just wanted him to get out.
Yeah.
Because it's probably a sign of respect somewhere.
Yeah.
Ultimately, I never went to the SCG to see Brian Lara go around one last time.
yeah,
I had no interest.
that was the vibe of Australia at the time, though. We wanted to crush everybody.
I had no interest in seeing greats of the game do well against our team. No, but now I'm probably a bit more interested in. I'm probably a bit less nationalistic, I suppose. In
Because the market is more than Australia. You better
Yeah,
be-
'cause there's money.
Yeah, I want to watch Kane Williamson bat.
Yeah, our first series I saw, I remember it was Australia India, and I remember Kapil Dev,
It's 92. This is
yeah,
the-
that's
the
right.
Warne- the
Yeah,
Warne
yeah,
debut,
yeah.
But he was towards the end of his career.
Yes, so I didn't get to see him in his peak, but you could still feel the aura of the man, and just again all rounder. So many great all rounders from that era as well. I think probably the first Indian cricketer I took notice of. So you remember that?
Oh, fair enough.